The series begins with our heroine Young, sitting alone in her apartment. She looks clearly depressed. We see her lying on her bed, extremely down and hopeless about life. She has no motivation to do anything. Despite being beautiful, she doesn't care about herself. Her hair is messy, her clothes are disheveled, and the apartment is dark and cluttered, as if she's isolated from the world. She doesn't want to see anyone, nor does she want anyone to see her. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. She's surprised, because no one usually visits her. She's forced to get up and open it, but she finds a handsome young man named Cam standing in front of her. He was her first love and childhood friend. He becomes really happy when he sees her, and he keeps looking at her with a smile, as if he's come from another world. The heroine is shocked when she sees him. She doesn't believe he's really standing in front of her. She thinks she's dreaming. She gets scared and tries to shut the door quickly, but she accidentally slams it on the hero's hand, and he groans in pain. Then we see a flashback so we can understand their story. At that time, they were high school students. We notice that the heroine used to be cheerful, full of energy, and always smiling. Unlike the hero, who was new to the class, quiet, withdrawn, and only focused on his studies. He wasn't into noise or making friends, and didn't want to socialize. But fate brought them into the same class. One day, on April Fool's Day, the students decide to prank the teachers. The prank is for every 2 students to switch names, so the teachers get confused. The hero doesn't want to participate, but the heroine insists on dragging him in because she loves pranks. She makes the students cheer his name until he finally agrees. They make a name chart and begin pairing up names. Coincidentally, the hero and heroine get paired together. The hero is shocked, but the heroine is thrilled. She takes his name and lies, promising she won't do anything to bother him. But she starts using his name everywhere: in the cafeteria, to buy food on his tab; in the library, to borrow tons of books; in the nurse's office, to get girls medicine under his name. Even when she gets into a fight with some bullies, she throws juice on them and leaves his name behind, so they think he was the one fighting. She runs away, and the hero gets upset with her actions. He feels like she's going to drag him into a lot of trouble. He goes and complains to his close friend, saying she's the worst person to switch names with. Even though he's mad at her, he's also secretly impressed by her bravery and boldness. He wishes he could be like her. He goes to speak with her and asks her to give his name back. But suddenly the bullies show up, wanting to fight the hero, thinking he's the one who threw juice on them. The hero gets scared and wants to tell the teacher, but the heroine stops him and says she'll handle it. She comes up with a plan. She draws fake gang tattoos on her, the hero, and her friend's arms, so the bullies think they're part of a dangerous gang. They confidently go to meet the bullies, and the plan works. The bullies get scared when they see them and apologize before running away. The hero goes home and tries to wash the fake tattoo off his arm, but is surprised that it won't come off. The next day in class, the students keep teasing him, and he becomes very upset because it was the heroine who caused this. At night, he goes to take his laundry bag to the dry cleaner, but is shocked to find that it's actually the heroine's bag, full of girls' clothes. He feels embarrassed and doesn't know how to get rid of it. The next day at school, he sees the heroine playing with her friend and notices that she's ordered a lot of food under his name again. He becomes very angry at her behavior, but deep down, he's still very fond of her because she's pretty and fun. When April Fool's Day ends, he talks to her and asks for his name back because she caused him so much trouble. But she refuses, saying his name brings her good luck. For the first time, she got a good score on an exam, avoided many problems, and when she ordered food, she even got an egg with 2 yolks. She offers to keep switching names until the end of the semester so she can pass her exams. He's shocked by what she says, but remembers he's had nothing but bad luck because of her. So he refuses and tells her not to use his name again because the game is over. He leaves, but the heroine is stubborn. In class, She makes her friends keep calling her by his name. During PE class, the teacher calls out his name, but she answers instead and takes his turn in the game. She wants to force herself into his life and make him give in. Eventually, he gives up, and they continue switching names. The hero becomes very confused, unable to figure out how to get rid of her and her pranks. His life becomes so chaotic that he starts forgetting his own name, sometimes even writing her name instead. The situation escalates until the principal finds out and calls both of their parents to school. He tells them what's been going on and that the hero scored high on his exams and will be getting a scholarship. But the heroine had written his name and wanted to go in his place. The heroine apologizes and promises she won't do it again. The hero is finally happy that he's gotten rid of her. After school, he walks with his mother to go home, but is shocked to find the heroine and her father walking the same path. He discovers they're neighbors, living on the same street. His mother wants to eat at a restaurant, but when she finds it closed, she feels disappointed. The heroine's father tells her the restaurant belongs to him and that he's the chef. He decides to open it just for her and invites her to dinner to apologize for his daughter's actions. He prepares her favorite food and serves it to her. The hero's mother is happy and thanks him. Both families decide to become friends because their children go to the same school. The next day, the heroine goes shopping for clothes. Her friend is surprised to see her taking care of her appearance and asks if she has a crush on the hero and swapped names just to get close to him. The heroine becomes nervous but denies it, saying they're just classmates and neighbors and there's nothing between them. But when she sees a nice-looking shirt, she decides to buy it as a gift for the hero. The next day at school, they have a poetry contest. The teacher asks the hero to read his poem. He starts reading, and the entire poem is romantic. The heroine is deeply moved when she hears it. She really likes it and thinks he wrote it for her. She starts falling for him, too. That night, she decides to wear makeup and puts on her best dress. But because she's in a hurry, the stairs hit her leg. She endures the pain and pretends she's just going down to throw out the trash. She waits outside, hoping the hero will see her looking beautiful. And indeed, the hero arrives and sees her. He's surprised that she's standing alone in the street late at night. Then he notices her injured leg and gets very worried. He disinfects her wound and applies a medical bandage. Naturally, the heroine is touched by his kindness and becomes even more fond of him. But then we return to the first scene, her in the apartment. When she saw the hero standing in front of her, he begins to open the windows to let sunlight into the room and asks if she missed him. But she's shocked that he's standing in front of her because he died 4 years ago. She asks who he is and what he wants from her. The hero tells her he is a reaper and has come to warn her. He tells her that she will die in a week. Of course, she doesn't believe him. She moves closer to him to make sure he's real and touches his face. He feels just like a real person. She gets scared and thinks she's either dreaming or going crazy. She runs out of the apartment and sees a delivery guy. She tells him that there's a strange man in her apartment and asks him to come with her. She points at the hero and asks if he can see him. But the delivery guy is shocked and says he sees no one. He thinks she's crazy and leaves her. She assumes she's hallucinating and calls her doctor to ask if her medication could cause this. But the hero insists he's really standing in front of her. She realizes that only she can see and speak to him. She tries to get rid of him in every way, doing rituals, playing chants, even spraying him with a fire extinguisher. But he still won't disappear. He tells her she can't get rid of him until after the week is over. The heroine is frustrated and doesn't know what to do. She has a flashback to school days. Back when the most beautiful girl in school came to her and asked her to deliver a love letter to the hero because she liked him but was too shy to confess her feelings. When the heroine read the letter, she felt jealous because she liked the hero too and was afraid of losing him. She took the letter but never delivered it. She kept it to herself and didn't know what to do. The next day, her friend told her the pretty girl was waiting outside to ask if the letter was delivered. So the heroine tried to hide her face and sneaked out of class. She went to the rooftop to avoid being seen. Her friend joined her and comforted her, saying the girl left and encouraged her to confess her feelings first. But the heroine refused because she was afraid he would reject her. Suddenly, the pretty girl saw her and called out, asking for the letter. The heroine panicked, ran away, and kept hiding. She hid in the bathroom, and when she felt the girl was about to catch her, she jumped out the window. She fell to the ground and fainted. Everyone thought she tried to end her life. When she returned to class, the hero sent her a message, asking if she was upset, and that's why she tried to die. But she didn't want to tell him. She wakes up from this memory and is still shocked that the person in front of her is the hero's ghost. But he tells her again, he's a reaper and she will die in a week. He decides to prove it to her. He takes her to the hospital where they see a critical patient. The doctors are trying to save him, but unfortunately, he dies. Suddenly, his soul leaves his body and another reaper appears to collect it. The heroine is shocked by what she sees and starts to believe the hero. Now she knows her days are numbered. She sits alone, sad. The hero comes to her and suggests she use the week to do everything she ever wanted. But she's depressed and tells him she'll just sit at home until she dies. But the hero has another opinion. He offers her a deal. She helps him fulfill the wishes he couldn't achieve before he died. He shows her a list of his wishes. The first wish on his list is to ride a bicycle with her. The heroine is touched and feels pity for him, so she agrees. But on one condition, if she helps him complete all his wishes, he must leave and disappear forever. The hero is very happy and promises to do so. So the heroine agrees, just to get rid of him. She goes and rents a tandem bicycle, and they ride it together. She's the one pedaling, and they roam around the city. They spend a really lovely time together, happy and laughing. At the end of the day, they sit down to rest. The hero crosses out the first wish from the list. There are 9 more to go. The next day, they decide to continue fulfilling the rest of the wishes. They go to watch the birds that he loves. After that, they go to the cinema to watch a romantic movie. Once the movie ends, they go to a music concert. The heroine keeps looking at him because she missed him so much. She remembers her school memories. Back then, she was talking to her friend, but suddenly saw the pretty girl standing with the hero. She was surprised and realized the girl was about to confess her feelings to him. So she ran towards them to stop her. Even though her legs were injured, she endured the pain and kept running until she reached them. But she tripped and fell to the ground. The hero was confused by her behavior and rushed to check on her. At that moment, the heroine decided to confess her love for him. But before she could say anything, a soccer ball hit her head, and she fainted. The hero was shocked. He carried her on his back and ran to the school clinic to make sure she was okay. But when she regained consciousness, she felt extremely embarrassed by what had happened. She left the clinic, upset. The hero saw her and followed. He asked if she was okay and also requested her to write a letter for him to give to someone. She misunderstood and thought he wanted to give it to the girl he liked. She was hurt and treated him coldly. She refused and told him she wouldn't write anything. She left angrily, but the next day, she went to apologize to him. She agreed to write the letter and asked who it was for. He told her it was for his mother, for her birthday. The heroine was surprised by this and realized she had misjudged him. She asked about the pretty girl, and he told her he had turned her down because he didn't love her. The heroine was very happy. She thought he had gotten together with the girl, but now she knew the truth. After that, they returned to class. The students were playing a question game. When it was the heroine's turn, they asked her what she wanted to do after graduating. She started telling them her wishes. The hero sitting behind them heard everything and began writing her wishes down. He wanted to make them come true, back to the present. We find that the hero is doing all this to fulfill her dreams and make her happy. He takes her to a mountain top and lets her wear a hot air balloon harness so she can fly. She refuses at first because she's scared of heights, but he encourages and reassures her. Eventually, she agrees to ride the hot air balloon. She flies above the mountain and laughs with joy. When she lands, she's so happy, but she can't find the hero and thinks he's disappeared. She starts calling out for him. He appears behind her, happy that she missed him. He tells her he won't leave her until the week is over. We see a flashback from the school days. The heroine used to be close with the hero's mother because she was an artist. She tried to learn painting from her, as her dream had always been to enter the College of Fine Arts. That's why she spent a lot of time at the hero's house. This made them even closer, almost like one family, especially since their parents also became friends. Because of that, the heroine would visit their house every day until she finally succeeded in learning how to draw. She decided her first painting would be of the hero. She made him sit in front of her to pose, but the hero was fascinated by her beauty and kept staring at her while she painted. When she noticed, she felt embarrassed and couldn't continue drawing. She walked out to the balcony. Suddenly, she saw a shooting star pass quickly across the sky. She felt sad because the hero didn't get to see it. She heard him say he always wanted to see a shooting star with her. But then he quickly changed his words to hide his true feelings for her. The heroine felt embarrassed, went home, and decided to write a letter to confess her love for him. She stayed up all night writing it, feeling extremely happy, as if she were living the best moment of her life. Back to the present. The hero decides to take her to her university to encourage her to reconnect with anyone she wanted to say goodbye to or mend broken relationships before she dies. But the heroine says that no one probably remembers her. Coincidentally, while walking, she bumps into one of her old classmates from the art department. The girl recognizes her and takes her with her to the department. There, the heroine sees that they are preparing for the university festival. She decides to help and uses her drawing skills. She starts making beautiful paintings. Everyone is impressed by her kindness and thanks her. They even include her in the festival. Just like old times, the heroine begins to feel happy again, surrounded by her old classmates. They celebrate and play together all day, having a lot of fun. Then she remembers a memory from school. She went on a trip with her classmates and took a photo with the hero. Both of them were happy because they were getting closer, but the hero found out that his friend also liked her. He felt upset and decided to sacrifice his own feelings. He hid his emotions and stayed alone during the whole trip, watching her from afar with sadness in his eyes. When he got home, he found that his mother had bought him a new jacket. He was very happy and decided to wear it the next day. But when he got to school, he saw the heroine wearing the exact same jacket. Her father had bought her the same one. They were both surprised when they saw each other. Their classmates started teasing them, thinking they were secretly dating. The hero got angry and told everyone it was just a coincidence. He took off his jacket and put it in his locker, but he noticed that the heroine looked sad because of his reaction. She thought he hated her. He regretted what he did. At the end of the day, he found her jacket thrown aside and realized she had taken it off to avoid embarrassing him. His friends came to talk to him and told him that she liked him. They encouraged him to go after her and confess his feelings. The hero was happy to hear that and decided to follow their advice. He went to wait for her at the bus stop to tell her how he felt. But at the same time, the heroine was sitting with the hero's friend by the school pool. We find out she had asked him to draw her as a birthday gift. She felt obligated to agree, so she wouldn't hurt his feelings. They stayed there until late, and she didn't know the hero was waiting for her at the bus stop. Suddenly, the school guard came and found them. He assumed they were dating. The heroine tried to explain that they were just classmates, but the hero's friend confessed that he liked her. The heroine was shocked by what she heard. She thought the hero had been spending time with her just to help his friend get closer to her. When she left the school, she found the hero still waiting at the bus stop. He tried to talk to her, but she takes her jacket and leaves. When she got home, she threw away the love confession letter. She snapped out of her memories, feeling deep regret for everything. Back to the present, she leaves her classmate and stands alone. The hero follows her and asks why she doesn't want to spend happy time with the classmates who love her. But she breaks down and cries. She tells him she can no longer bear what's happening to her, that it's too much. She says she's tired of seeing him in front of her all the time, even though he's dead. It makes her feel like he's still alive. She confesses that she can't forgive herself for his death. She's felt guilty all these years. She believes that switching their names back in school brought him bad luck and caused his death. So she asks him not to wait until the end of the week. She wants him to take her soul now, because she can't live without him and just wants to die. The hero is moved by her words and tells her that he's liked her for a long time. He regrets not confessing his feelings when he had the chance. He holds her hands and tells her he appeared in her life again because he missed her. He wanted to see her before she died. The heroine is deeply touched and can no longer hold herself together. She breaks down crying because she missed him so much too. The next day, she decides to visit her father before she dies. He scolds her for not answering his calls. She apologizes and reassures him that she's okay. She sees her younger sister leaving the house and finds out she's going on a hiking trip with her friends. The heroine begs her not to go because she's worried something might happen. But her sister refuses and becomes upset. She tells her that even if she stays home, she could still die. She says she doesn't want to live isolated and locked up like her older sister. Then she walks away. The heroine is hurt by her words. She says goodbye to her father and leaves. Outside, the hero is waiting for her. He notices she's sad and decides to cheer her up. He takes her to their secret place in the old school. At first, she refuses to go, but he convinces her. They sneak in behind the guard's back. Once inside, she remembers the first time she entered the place with him. She had told him she used to come here with her best friend. The hero then opened up about his problems. He told her that his father abandoned him and divorced his mother, and that he no longer wanted to see him. The heroine was deeply affected by his words and told him that her mother had died when she was young. She didn't even remember what her mother looked like. Feeling emotional, they decided to draw on the walls and make memories together. Each one wrote the other's name. They spent a lovely time together, clearly liking each other. But suddenly, the heroine's best friend entered and got upset when she saw the hero there. She scolded the heroine for bringing him into their secret spot. They had promised no one else would ever enter. The heroine felt guilty and tried to make it up to her. She explained that she only brought him there because he was feeling down. But her friend didn't accept the excuse. She told her that ever since she got close to the hero, she had distanced herself. They argued, and her friend gathered her things, said goodbye, and left the place crying. The heroine snaps out of her memory and finds a photo of her with her best friend lying on the floor. She's happy to see it and realizes she misses her. She doesn't even know where she is now. They haven't seen each other in years. The hero realizes that they are still not on good terms. Suddenly, the school guard enters and the heroine gets scared, so she hides. The hero takes the opportunity and grabs her phone. He tries to call her best friend to get them to reconnect, but her number is switched off. He realizes she's traveled abroad. He decides to take the heroine to meet his close friend instead. The heroine refuses and tries to leave. But to her surprise, the guard locked the door from the outside. The hero offers to unlock it if she agrees to do what he says. He shows her his next wish. He wants to meet his friend. The heroine realizes she has no other choice, so she agrees. After that, the hero takes her to the club where his friend works. He has become a swimming coach. She meets him and greets him, and they sit down to talk. But the friend is clearly upset with her because she hasn't answered his calls for a long time. The heroine senses that he's annoyed and not happy to see her, so she says goodbye, leaves him, and walks out. But he runs after her and apologizes. Suddenly, an ambulance passes by with its siren blaring. The heroine becomes extremely anxious upon hearing the sound. It reminds her of the accident in which the hero died. She collapses on the ground, unable to breathe. Her friend rushes to her and tries to calm her down. He tells her to breathe slowly so she can regain her breath. Eventually, she calms down and apologizes to him. They walk together to talk. He asks her why she distanced herself from everyone. She confesses that she couldn't be like him. She couldn't continue living and smiling while trying to forget the hero's death. But he becomes upset and tells her she's not the only one who suffered. He says that he too has been in pain, maybe even more than her. He reveals that he was also there on the day the hero died and that he hasn't been able to forget it. We see a flashback to the day of the accident. They were on a camping trip together. They stayed up all night because the hero wanted to see a shooting star, but it didn't appear. The next day, the heroine participated in a festival and won a ticket to the observatory. Since she loved the hero, she decided to give it to him so he could fulfill his wish and see the stars. When she met him, she told him she had written his name on the ticket instead of hers, because she always believed he brought her good luck. He was happy with her words and decided to confess his feelings to her. He asked her to come and watch the stars with him, but she felt shy and instead gave him the love letter she had written, asking him to read it when he reached the top. She told him she would wait for him so they could return together. She had no idea it would be the last time she'd see him. The hero went to the observatory to watch the stars and read the letter. She had written that she loved him. He was overjoyed and touched by her feelings. He decided to officially ask her out. But suddenly, a fire broke out in the building. The heroine noticed ambulances arriving and ran to see what had happened. She was shocked to find that the fire was in the place where the hero was. She broke down and tried to enter, but security stopped her. Unfortunately, the hero died before her very eyes. She was helpless and unable to save him. Back in the present, the heroine tells her friend that ever since that day, she has developed a phobia of ambulance sirens because they remind her of the accident. He's moved by her words and begins crying as well. He tells her that he too feels guilty. That's why he joined the civil service to become a firefighter and try to save people. The heroine is touched by his words. She's glad to know that he still remembers the hero. At the end of the day, she walks him home. She asks him to take care of himself. He's surprised by her words and feels like she's saying goodbye. When he returns to his office, he finds a game they used to play with the hero. He starts crying, feeling the hero's presence around him. Later, the heroine walks alone, imagining all the possible scenarios that could have happened if the hero hadn't died. She imagines that if they had confessed their love to each other, they would have gotten married and lived a happy life together. She remembers when her family arrived at the hospital. They thought she was the one who died because she had swapped names with the hero. When his mother arrived and found out that it was her son who had died, she was in complete shock and broke down crying. The heroine snaps out of her memories in tears. She finds the hero waiting for her, trying to comfort her. He tells her there's no use in dwelling on the past. They need to focus on the days they still have together. The heroine is deeply moved and tells him she wants to go see his mother. She never had the courage to face her after the accident. The hero remembers a flashback from the day he died. He woke up in a strange place. Suddenly, a female Grim Reaper appeared and told him he had died and must now go with her to the afterlife. He reluctantly agreed, but kept remembering his moments with the heroine. He regretted not being able to say goodbye before he died. The Grim Reaper noticed he was full of regret. She told him she had felt the same way when she died. That's why she chose to work as a Reaper, so she could help lost souls. She explained that now she can travel between the human world and the afterlife whenever she wants to help others. The hero was surprised and told her he wanted to become a Reaper too, so he could see his beloved again. Back in the present, he asks the heroine about how his mother has been. since he wasn't even present at his own funeral. She tells him that his mother was devastated and in denial. She couldn't accept that she would never see him again. She left the city, and no one knows where she went. The heroine says she has no idea how to find her. The hero takes her to visit his father's new wife. She's the only one who might know where his mother is. She works at an art gallery. The heroine sits with her and asks about the mother's whereabouts, but the woman refuses to answer. She gets up and walks away. Still, the heroine doesn't give up. She follows her and finally confesses. She tells her she was the reason behind the hero's death, but she had been too cowardly to face his mother. Now she wants to come clean and ask for forgiveness. The woman is moved by her honesty and decides to give her the address. On the way, the heroine remembers the last time she saw the hero's mother. At that time, she had been saying goodbye to her husband, telling him she was leaving both the house and the city. She was devastated and crying, blaming herself for encouraging her son to chase his dream of watching the shooting stars. The heroine had been standing at a distance, listening and crying, but she didn't have the courage to tell her that she wasn't to blame. Back in the present, the heroine tells the hero that she has decided to tell his mother the truth. She wants to be free of the pain and guilt that's been eating at her for years. The hero is shocked and disagrees. He tries to convince her not to do it, fearing that his mother might hate her. But the heroine is determined. She says that since the accident, she has been blaming herself for his death. And she needs to carry that burden together with his mother, not alone. The hero tries to tell her that neither of them is responsible, that the accident was fate. He gets frustrated and asks why she's so ready to surrender to death, why she isn't even trying to fight and live. He tells her that when he became a reaper, most people tried to resist or run away. But she, on the other hand, had given up all hope and was even okay with dying after just one more week. When he sees that she's not changing her mind, he joins her on the bus. They travel together to the village where his mother now lives. When they get off the bus, the heroine sees a group of friends joking around on their way to a trip. It reminds her of her own school days when she was happy with her friends. The hero notices her sadness, holds her hand to comfort her, and apologizes. He tells her to think of this as a trip with him. The heroine smiles warmly at his kindness and walks with him to the house where his mother lives alone. But the hero doesn't want to go in. He can't bear to see his mother like this. He asks the heroine to go inside on her own while he waits outside. The heroine agrees and heads in. The heroine enters and finds that the hero's mother has a small art studio where she paints her own artwork. The heroine enters nervously and is surprised when the mother sees her. But the mother smiles, welcomes her warmly, and they take a walk together to talk. The mother tells her that she opened the gallery to fulfill a dream. She had promised her son, before he died, that she would create something like this. She tells her that she still hasn't been able to forget him. The heroine is overcome with guilt. She gathers her courage and begins to confess everything. She tells her that the hero was at the observatory the day of the accident because she gave him her ticket, and that it had her name on it. She apologizes, saying that if she hadn't done that, he wouldn't have died and would still be alive. She breaks down crying and begs the mother to forgive her. She expects the mother to be angry and blame her. But instead, the mother runs toward her, hugs her, and comforts her. She tells her that she should stop blaming herself, that what happened was an accident and she had no control over it. The mother confesses that she too used to feel immense guilt and anger toward herself, but with time, she's learned to live with it. She tells her that she eventually went back to painting. It's the only thing that brings her peace and helps her feel close to her son. The heroine is deeply moved by her words. She tells her that she missed the hero so much and regrets not being able to say goodbye before he died. She asks the mother to wait, then goes and brings the hero inside so he can see her one last time. He's scared to enter. He remembers how depressed and broken his mother had been. But when he sees her now, painting peacefully, opening the closet to take out his old jacket and putting it on. He's overwhelmed. He walks up to her and hugs her from behind. Even though she can't see him, she feels his warmth as if he's right there with her. She says aloud that she will always love him. Then she folds the jacket and gives it to the heroine so she can keep it as a memory. The hero is deeply affected and begins crying. He remembers what the other Grim Reapers had told him, that if he got too close to the people he loved, his soul would eventually disappear forever, and he would never be able to see them again. Meanwhile, the heroine realizes that this was the final wish on the hero's list. She panics, fearing he will now leave her. She runs and calls out for him. When she sees him, she throws herself into his arms, crying. She begs him not to leave her. She tells him that after he died, she felt her life stop, but when he reappeared, it gave her hope again. The hero is touched by her words. We learn that after becoming a Reaper, he saw her name appear on the death list. He found out she would take her own life in a week, so he decided to show up and try to change her fate. At the same time, her university friend is sleeping and has a nightmare. In her dream, she sees the heroine standing on a rooftop. She wakes up in a panic, realizing her friend is in danger. She immediately decides to call her and warn her. The hero and heroine are watching the sunrise together. It's the last day before her death. She decides to make the most of it, to fulfill all her final wishes. First, she buys a new suit for her father. She goes to give it to him as a farewell gift, but to her surprise, he and her sister have prepared a birthday celebration for her. She's touched by their love. Her father tries on the suit and loves it. He tells her he'll wear it on her wedding day. He also says he's been practicing music to play for her graduation. The heroine is heartbroken hearing this. She knows she's going to die tomorrow. She regrets all the time she spent away from them. She returns to the hero to complete the rest of her wishes. She tells the hero she wants to help someone she doesn't know. They see a girl on a bus who accidentally drops her passport. The heroine picks it up and decides to return it to her. She and the hero rush to the airport and search everywhere until they finally find the girl crying. The heroine runs up to her and gives her the passport. The girl is shocked and overjoyed. She hugs the heroine tightly, overwhelmed with gratitude. The heroine feels so happy that she was able to help someone. Later, she sits with the hero, and he asks her what her next wish is. She tells him she wants to go on a romantic date with him, as if they were a couple. The hero is thrilled and agrees immediately. He holds her hand, and they go on a date. They visit the library where they used to hang out in school, then go to eat her favorite ice cream. She's incredibly happy, living the happiest moments of her life. But then her university friend calls, asking her to come to the graduation party. The heroine apologizes and says she's busy before ending the call. The friend is disappointed. She's worried about her. She remembers the day of the festival and how she saw the heroine with the Reaper. She had the ability to see Reapers, and from that moment on, she kept her eye on the heroine, worried she might be in danger. Meanwhile, the hero and heroine sit by the beach. While they're talking, two guys suddenly snatch her bag and run. She gets extremely angry. The bag has her father's gift inside. She chases after them and manages to get her bag back. She and the hero laugh together as they scold the thieves. It's a fun and exciting moment. At the end of the day, they sit and watch the sunset together. The heroine becomes very sad, knowing she won't see him again. She asks how she will die, but the hero doesn't answer. He just looks at her, deeply sad. She realizes that she will take her own life. That's why he suddenly appeared in her life a week ago. The hero tells her that there's still time. She can choose to live, but she cries and tells him that choosing life means losing him, and she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to live in a world without him. He holds her hands and comforts her. He tells her he'll always be by her side, even if she can't see him. He asks her to live under his name, just like she used to do in school. He says goodbye and tells her he'll always love her. The heroine breaks down in tears, watching the sun disappear, and sadly, the hero disappears with it. She sits on the ground and apologizes, saying she needs him and can't live without him. She returns to her dark apartment, heartbroken. Everything reminds her of him. She picks up his photo and recalls their school memories, all the beautiful moments they shared. She packs her things and heads up to the rooftop, ready to end her life to finally be at peace. At the same time, her university friend is desperately trying to find her address. She remembers the nightmare and manages to reach the building. She runs to the rooftop and finds the heroine standing on the ledge. The heroine is surprised to see her, but refuses to come down. She says she's already made her decision. But her friend tells her that she saw her reaper, meaning the hero. She tells her he's probably watching her right now and that he's hurting just as much as she is. The heroine is shaken by her words. Suddenly, the hero appears beside her. He holds her hand and tells her there's something she needs to see. Fireworks begin lighting up the sky. He hugs her, and they watch the fireworks together, smiling. The heroine steps down from the ledge, and her friend is overjoyed that the hero convinced her to live. She feels relieved and walks away, leaving them alone. The hero wipes away the heroine's tears. He was afraid she would give up. She apologizes for not being able to save him and asks for his forgiveness. But he tells her that she already saved him, that if she chooses to live and be happy, that alone would save his soul too. He tells her that his name will live inside her forever. Then comes the final farewell. He hugs her and says he will always love her and that one day they will meet again. He calls out her name 3 times, the way reapers finish their mission, and then he disappears from the human world, having saved the life of the one he loved and spent the happiest week of his afterlife with her. The heroine cries, but she finally finds the strength to let go of her grief and decides to move on, just like she promised him. Time passes, winter ends, and spring arrives. As if she's starting a new life, she returns to her old life and begins spending more time with her family. Now understanding how much they love her, she reconnects with her old friends and works on fixing relationships that were broken by her sadness and isolation. She goes back to university to pursue her dream and graduates to become a famous artist. She grows closer to the friend who saved her and tells her about her grief for the hero. But she knows now that she can't let that pain control her life. She starts working on her graduation project. It's a painting with the hero's handwriting on it. The message reads something he used to always say, "We must live every moment as if it won't happen again, and appreciate the lives of those we love before it's too late." She stands in front of the painting, remembering her last day with him. She had been sad because the stars disappeared from the sky, but he told her the stars are still there, even if she can't see them. He told her to close her eyes and imagine them. She closes her eyes in front of the painting. When she opens them, she imagines the hero standing beside her, smiling. She smiles back and tells him she will always remember him and continue living happily, for him and for herself. The series ends with a happy ending, after the heroine learned how to transform her sorrow into strength and decided to live her life helping the people around her, while always remembering the one she loved. Subscribe for more dramas like this, tap the bell icon, and don't forget to like the video, as it will help to reach more good people like you. Thanks for watching.